Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. So today we have a little, I would say just like a story. It's not a very nice story to hear. The story that we're here to tell or talk about is
when I was diagnosed with PCOS.
Yeah, and during that time, well, it wasn't very like a shocking thing or like, oh my god, because first of all we didn't really know what that was. The doctor would obviously probably explain to you what it was, and then that whole time we were just doing a lot of research on what it does, what PCOS does, how you can get it, basically just trying to figure out how you got it, right? How you were diagnosed with it. And it wasn't just like through...
Well, okay, so I'm gonna take it like way back. It was when I first, like for the very first time, got my period, which was like, it was during summer going to 8th grade. And so when I got my period, I remember I got it, so I know that every month I was supposed to get one. And I remember I skipped the next month, and I was just like, oh, okay, like whatever. I didn't really think anything of it. And then I got it, and then I skipped 2 months, and then I'm like, and then I got it. And then I skipped 3 months, and I just kept skipping months. Sometimes I'll get it, sometimes I wouldn't. And when I would get my period, I would bleed a lot, like a lot, heavily. I would always stain myself, like even at school, like I would have to cover my jeans because it was just bad. I would get really bad cramps. I would wake up like at 2 in the morning crying because I was in really bad pain. Then my mom didn't even know what to do. I would go to the doctors because of it. So I remember I went to the doctors because of my period, and I remember telling the doctor like, well they realized that it wasn't regular, and I asked, and my doctor at that time, because I had a different one a few years back, she told me, oh, it's just, you're new to it, like it's gonna take time to regulate. So I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't think anything of it. I didn't do any research on my own. And then I just kind of didn't like how she, like, I just felt like she didn't really care about her patients, or at least like for me. So I decided to switch to another doctor, and I loved that doctor, and he noticed it. He noticed my periods, not being regular, and it was about to be 2 years, and he was like, it should have been regular by now, like, something is just up. But he was just my provider. He didn't really like special on anything, so he referred me to an endocrinologist, and I had to go to the hospital, and I had to get a lot of blood work done. And that day I was diagnosed with PCOS, and I forgot to mention that also, like, throughout those years I've always been like not too skinny but neither fat. I've just been like skinny, and I started gaining weight, and I just and with my period and all that stuff, so then the doctor noticed that, so he was like, yeah, you definitely have PCOS, you've gained weight, you're not, you don't have your periods every month. I was very moody, and also they did a lot of blood work to check my hormones, and right away they noticed, like, my hormones were imbalanced and everything. So everyone has different levels of PCOS, so mine weren't that high. So the doctor comes to me, he tells me, I have to exercise every single day, at least for 30 minutes, at least just walk for 30 minutes. He was like, the goal is not really to lose weight, it just helps you out, because PCOS can also, can give you a risk for type 2 diabetes. So we were trying to prevent all of that, and he gave me a schedule he gave me like how many calories to eat in a day, exercise 30 minutes a day, at least 5 times a week, And so I was very scared, so I right away enrolled to the gym, and then so did Efren. And then also I had to be in medication, and that medication was called metformin, and supposedly it helps you lose weight, but I don't know, that wasn't even the goal for me. It was just because it helped me, it helps you get your period every month, which it did. So I was already on medication. So for the first week, I started off with a low dosage. Second week I had to get a higher one. Third week I had to get a higher one. Fourth week I had to get a higher one. And then after the 4th week, I just had to stay with that and just, you know, take that every single day. And I started getting sick. At first I was okay with it. I felt fine. I started getting my period right away when I started being on that medication. I would go to the gym Monday through Friday, just do cardio at least for 30 minutes every day. I started eating healthier. I did lose like 15 pounds, and I did feel better, but then I started feeling bad with the medication. Like I felt sick, like nauseous. I was in a bad mood. I wanted to throw up all the time. It would make my stomach feel sick. I just didn't like it, so I stopped taking it. And then I was still getting my period. I was pretty surprised. I'm like, wow. And then right away, then my period started being irregular again. I'm like, oh my god. So I didn't really know what to do. And then
it was a really hard time as well, because when you went to the appointment, they actually gave her a specific diet, an amount of calories that you had to eat, per meal, and I think the tops per day was it 600 or 600 per meal?
600 per meal. I would die.
And before that, because we were always on the road, and I was still in like sports, so we were always on the road because she used to tag along. It was kind of hard to not eat junk food or go to a fast food place when you're hungry.
Yeah,
and every fast food place had all the meals or everything. It's already high calorie. It would already take her right off the 600.
Yeah, and diet. It was very hard because I grew up just eating fast food. Like, I don't know. And where was I at?
At least it kind of did help us though to try our best to just eat at home, or try our best to like go somewhere that's healthy, even though like healthier food is obviously way more expensive. And excuse me, I don't think we had a job at the time either. So
no, because we were in high school.
Yeah, so at least we did put an effort more with the gym than eating, but the eating part is actually like obviously one of the most hard things to do.
Yeah, but I mean, because I was so scared and I was really concerned, and to not really get diabetes, so I was really on it. And I mean, I think I did pretty good, but then I kind of just I was like, oh, it's whatever, so I stopped taking the metformin. My periods were like irregular again.
You stopped taking it because you would feel sick, no?
Yeah.
You had
I mean, I was just getting a bad mood. It was just,
And those pills, and I experienced it all. Those pills, as soon as she actually took it, I really could tell like you became like different, Like if she was really in a happy, like in a good mood, like very, very good mood, like the best mood she was ever in, and she takes that pill, it like just knocks you right off. Like, and it's not really her fault. It's just the symptom of the side effect of taking those pills. It was actually that it'll change your mood, no?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I didn't think nothing of it because at first, I didn't have that. Like, yeah, it said that I would be kind of moody, but I mean, it was not that big of a deal. But it made me feel sick. And then I even talked to my doctor, and he was like, okay, well, maybe, what if we just lowered the dosage? But because you have to take them, you don't want to miss your period, so you have to in order for me to get good. So we tried that, and it's just I was just so sick of them. I just hated those pills. So I was like, no, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna just let it be. I'm gonna try to take care of myself on my own. I'm not gonna take any medication. Like I was just sick and tired of those pills.
So basically, the best thing for you to do was just the exercise and then watching your food, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, it still wasn't guaranteed that I would get my period every month. So then, my doctor throughout this whole journey, I was diagnosed like 2 years ago. So, was it 2 years? No, 3.
It was 3.
3 years ago, and ever since I was diagnosed with it, he always told me get on birth control. But I never wanted to get on birth control. Like I just didn't want to get on birth control because I don't like taking pills. I didn't want to get the shot. I just didn't like. I didn't like any of the methods. But he always tried to pressure me to take birth control, and after that I was just like, I'm tired of not getting my period every month, so I decided to give birth control a try about 9 months ago, and I tried the patch because there's certain methods of birth control that can help PCOS to regulate your period, and then there's not all of them are gonna help with the PCOS. So in my case, we had to make sure that the method I was using it was so it can help me regulate my period. So for example, I think the shot can actually mess it up. So that was not an option. I think I either had the pill or the patch. I think at the moment that he told me, I think I only had those 2 options, but we had to do more research on which ones to do. So I don't like taking pills, and I didn't want to like take pill every day and at the same time. So I was like, okay, that's out of it. Like that's why I just didn't want to take birth control. So then I just decided to do the patch. Just change it once a week. On their 4th week, you're off and you get your period. So I did that, and on the first month, I already loved it. Like I loved birth control, and I loved how I already know what day exactly to get my period. I bleed less. I'm less days on my period because, like I said, when I would get it, I would bleed for a whole week, and I would bleed a lot. My cramps would be horrible. I would cry every single time. Do you remember? And then
there was a lot of like sleepless nights. Well, back then, I would always stay up with her when I could. We've always been busy, but even the nights that she had something to do the next day, she still couldn't sleep. Remember?
Yeah, because the pain, like I would take painkillers, everything, but it just wouldn't make the pain go away.
And also, all those pills always gave her like the worst headaches in the world.
Well, not really, but I just felt sick. And with birth control, I didn't have that much cramps anymore, less bleeding, less days. I was kind of like out of it. Like I felt I didn't even have a period because of how less bleeding I was bleeding. So I told my doctor, he was like, that's fine, that's normal. Throughout more as you keep using birth control, you're gonna start bleeding a little bit more, but you're not gonna bleed as much as you used to because you're a heavy bleeder. Like you would bleed a lot. So I was like, oh, okay. So I did start bleeding a lot more as I was using birth control. Like every month I noticed a little bit more blood. My cramps are starting to come back, and I've never experienced back cramps. Like I've always had cramps in my stomach, but never in my back, and I'm now like experiencing that. But other than that, like I love birth control. Like the patch right now, that's the one that I like, and I don't think if this method didn't exist, I wouldn't try birth control. The only thing I don't like about this birth control is like I didn't have a problem with it at the beginning, but now I kind of do it. It's just like when it leaves me a big mark wherever I place my patch, and it gets so itchy, and like it's like a rash, and I have marks from like 2 months ago all over my legs. So that's where I placed it at, and it's just, it looks bad. I don't know when to go away or anything, but yeah.
That's pretty much everything you went through, huh?
Oh, and then so PCOS is I don't know what exactly what it is, but then I know it has to do with your hormones. like estrogen, testosterone, everything with your hormones. If you have, it's a hormone imbalance, and that's why it messes up with your period. Also, some girls that have PCOS get chin hair, or just a lot of hair. I don't really experience that. Like, I know girls that don't have PCOS that are like more hairy than me, so I wasn't, like I said, my PCOS is not that bad. So it's a hormone imbalance, and you gain weight with PCOS. Around your armpit, it gets like dark. I didn't experience that either. Mood swings. You experience a lot of mood swings with PCOS. What else? Acne, but I didn't experience nothing like that. If anything, my face always been really clear. The only thing I experienced with PCOS is just mood swings, and I gain weight, and that's about it. Other than that, I don't have anything else with PCOS, and that's why at the beginning for my doctor it was kind of hard to know if it was even PCOS. So I was in the, like, I remember when I went to the hospital, I was there like half the day because of a lot of blood work, and I couldn't eat. And then after that, after they were done with blood work, I still had to stay because they fed me, and I had to wait, so I didn't feel any like dizzy because I had to drive back home. So they wanted to make sure that I was fine. But right now, I guess I'm dealing with it kind of good. Not really with like exercising or eating healthy. But then there's times I'm like, okay, I need to, like, I think about it. I'm like, I have to, take care of myself better in that way. But yeah.
A lot of it's pretty much about self-motivation, huh?
And I feel like at first I took care of it because I was scared. Like, I was just scared. And you can't get rid of PCOS. It's once you have it, you have it. And it's kind of like diabetes. Once you have it, you have it. You can't get rid of it. You can just try to work with it, just pretty much it. You can't just get rid of it. Yeah, I get my period every month, but doesn't mean that I don't have it anymore. And also, I forgot to mention that some women it can be hard for them to get pregnant. And I remember at first when I was diagnosed, I was crying my butt off to Efren, because if you know me, then you know that I love kids, and like, I want a big family. Like, at first I told Efren, like, I want 3 kids, but now I even want 4. And I remember I cried because I was just like, what if that's an issue for me? But then I remember I was just kind of sad about that. But then I remember I cried to my doctor about that, and he was just like, don't worry, there's a lot of women that have PCOS and they have kids perfectly fine. Like, don't worry about that. Your hormones are not that imbalanced for you to really have that problem. Like, I'm not concerned with you about that. So, don't really worry about that right now. But it was like for me, when I first got diagnosed, I was very emotional about that because you never know. So yeah.
We just want to thank all of you who actually stick along and watch all of our videos and have watched all of our videos. We really appreciate you guys, and yeah, we just want to thank you. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can comment, any of you who actually have PCOS or dealt with it or know what it is. You can comment down below your story as well. But if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video.
Bye.
Peace.